What if the legendary 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda wasn't exactly what you thought? From a billionaire's custom order to design battles and factory lies, this muscle icon hides secrets that most gearheads have never heard. The bold and aggressive design of the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda didn't just happen. It was the work of a young Chrysler designer named John E. Hurlitz, who was just 27 years old when he led the design team for the third-generation Barracuda. Hurlitz envisioned a car that didn't just perform like a muscle car, but looked fast, standing still. His approach was radical for the time: low, wide, with exaggerated curves and aggressive detailing. The 1971 model year reflected the peak of this vision. From the quad headlamps to the power bulges, the iconic gill fender vents, and options like the Billboard stripes and shaker hood, Hurlitz's work brought together visual drama and racing credibility. One detail many overlook is how much freedom Hurlitz was given on the E-body platform. While Dodge shared the chassis for the Challenger, Hurlitz fought to make sure the Barracuda's sheet metal was completely unique, giving the Cuda its own identity rather than looking like a Dodge clone. Hurlitz later admitted that the 1971 Cuda was his personal favorite, calling it the most expressive design of the era. Unfortunately, the insurance crisis and emissions restrictions hit shortly after, making 1971 the last year the Hemi would appear in the Cuda, ending a chapter that Hurlitz helped define. His bold design not only helped create a legend, it became one of the most recognized silhouettes in muscle car history. In the world of muscle cars, few stories are as fascinating as the one tied to Zachary Dr. Zacko Reynolds, the heir to the R.J. Reynolds tobacco fortune. While most collectors dream of owning a Hemi Cuda, Zach didn't just buy one, he built a legend. In 1971, Reynolds ordered a Plymouth Hemi Cuda, loaded with nearly every high-performance and luxury option available from the factory. We're talking about the ultra-rare 426 Hemi engine, 4-speed manual transmission, shaker hood, Billboard stripes, and even power windows, features almost never found together in one car. But what makes this story truly remarkable isn't just the car's spec sheet. It's the man behind the wheel. Zach Reynolds wasn't just a rich kid with expensive taste. He was a licensed pilot, a daredevil, and a true speed junkie. His personal fleet included aircraft, motorcycles, and high-horsepower muscle machines. And his Hemi Cuda reflected his rebellious personality. When the car resurfaced decades later, it was still wearing its original paint, original interior, and still had cigarette butts, Winston brand, in the ashtray, a nod to his family's billion-dollar empire. Plymouth's 1971 marketing for the Hemi Cuda was bold, eye-catching, and, in many ways, misleading. Brochures and magazine spreads prominently featured aggressive options like the N96 shaker hood, Billboard side stripes, rear spoilers, and rally wheels. But what many buyers didn't realize was that most of these striking features were optional, not standard. In fact, the base Hemi Cuda could appear visually plain without ticking the right boxes on the order form. Performance claims were just as questionable. Advertised horsepower ratings and quarter-mile times were typically based on specially tuned press cars, not the average production model. As a result, customers were often surprised when their brand-new Cuda didn't match the performance numbers or visual flair they had seen in the ads. Even more confusing, Plymouth's ads rarely made clear distinctions between trim levels and packages. For example, the base Cuda and the high-performance Hemi version were often shown side by side, blurring the line between appearance and capability. This strategy may have boosted showroom traffic, but it also led to buyer confusion and later regret, especially when insurance premiums for Hemi-equipped cars skyrocketed. One of the most iconic and controversial features ever put on a muscle car came in 1971 with the Plymouth Hemi Cuda, the legendary Billboard stripes. These massive side graphics weren't just a design detail, they screamed Hemi in bold block letters from fender to rear quarter panel. The stripes were loud, aggressive, and impossible to ignore. And that's exactly what sparked debate. While some muscle car fans saw it as a badge of honor, others, including dealers, thought it was overkill. At a time when insurance companies were already cracking down on high-horsepower vehicles, this visual flex made it even harder to fly under the radar. Some dealers actually removed the stripes at customer request before the cars were delivered. Others encouraged buyers to delete the option entirely, making factory-original Billboard cudas extremely rare today. Even more interesting, the stripes weren't just cosmetic. They were printed in reflective material, lighting up under headlights at night, making the Hemi lettering glow like a warning sign to anyone who dared to challenge it. But that also drew unwanted attention from police and insurance inspectors. In the world of classic American muscle cars, few configurations are as coveted, or as rare, as the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, equipped with a 4-speed manual transmission. Out of just 114 Hemi Cuda hardtops produced that year, a mere 59 units were fitted with the heavy-duty A833 4-speed gearbox. Even more astonishing, only 2 convertibles received this transmission setup, making the 4-speed variant not only rare, but a true collector's gem. The appeal of the manual transmission went beyond simple preference. Mopar engineers paired the 4-speed Hemi Cuda with the Dana 60 rear axle, known for its strength under extreme torque. Many of these cars also came with the SuperTrack pack, code A34, which included a 4.10 rear gear ratio, power front disc brakes, and heavy-duty cooling, making it a street-legal drag car straight from the factory. Aesthetically, the 4-speed Hemi Cudas stood out for one unmistakable feature: the Hurst pistol grip shifter. Unique to Mopar, this bold, ergonomic design became an instant icon. But it wasn't just about looks. Paired with the legendary 426 Hemi, delivering 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, this setup gave drivers an unmatched connection to the road. Each shift felt mechanical, raw, and deliberate, putting full control of the beast right in your hand. Because most buyers opted for the more convenient 3-speed automatic torque flight, the 4-speed manual was considered a purist's choice.